Let's go over the progression from spine extension using the foot bar, from feet on the floor, finally to feet up on the long box. If you have a Pilates chair pad, this is probably the softest one, but it's also gonna offer you at least some feeling sense. If you get too thick of a pad, you're not gonna really sense where the bar is. So use the pad, and I'll show you. I prefer not to, but for students that are new to this, to have the pressure of their bar on their spine is very uncomfortable. Starting with your feet on the floor, and then we're going to eventually progress them up here and do some different variations. Whether you're using the pad or not, start there, slide down. Make sure you're at the base of the shoulder blades. I like to do it in the well. You can also do it outside, facing the opposite direction I'm doing. Make sure you're at the base of the shoulder blades. Feet, calves, and legs are pressing into the frame to stabilize my hips. The basic foundation, hands behind your head, and just start up and down. You can add hip flexion and extension as like a teeter-totter. Just make sure pelvic floor, glutes, and abdominals are engaged. A few more of these, just back and forth arcing. Now, if anybody has any cervical issues, neck issues that makes them uncomfortable, always keep one hand behind the head. So here is the next version. We're going to do long lever arm on one side and back up, switch, and then back. And you can move around. I'm going to move a little lower or a little higher. Move my body a little lower, getting higher on my back. And again, engage glute, pelvic floor. Hold this as long as you want. This is an intro just to kind of see the different variations. You're going to see some of these in the, if you feel that you can do it, both arms off, please move into that. If not, keep one hand behind. You're going to see some of these movements are going to be in the group, the full classes. You can also keep your hand behind, get yourself set, and then let go. So it's up to you what you like best. Then we're going to go and we're going to hold the extension. And first thing we're going to do is add lateral flexion of the spine. So I'm going to take this arm, my left elbow, and reach it back as I look. Because my goal isn't to bend and crunch in one side, which would look like this. My goal is to lengthen. So when I look, I tend to lengthen that side, turning my head, looking, and then back. Getting a really great oblique, a QL stretch, looking over my shoulder, reaching that armpit, pressing the legs into the bed. And I'm going to adjust again a little bit higher. I keep sliding on this pad, but it's not that bad. It's good to continue to adjust. Looking over my shoulder, reach that elbow. If I have the accessibility to get more extension, I can add that in. This side, not much. And back. To make it a little bit more exciting, extend the legs out, arms out, and then back bend. I started doing this with my disc herniations because I couldn't do spine extension, and I found my rectus and my front line was getting so tight that I started doing it over the bar and found a lot of different variations. I'm going to add some arm circles to this. If you have a floor that's slippery, make sure you grip socket or grip socket and grip pad it. Luckily, in the side studio here, I've got rubber floors, so it provides a really nice stable base for my feet. Glutes on and circle. So to come up out of this, you want to put forearms on, walk yourself, and come back up. Now, the reason why I'm coming up isn't that it's part of the programming. I just need to rest my spine a few minutes. To be on that for 4 or 5 solid minutes, you're going to want to come off it for a little bit. So I would say program something in that might be relaxing, coming up and doing what's relaxing for you and me are completely different things probably. But for me, what's relaxing would be a thigh stretch. Put the leg up and just hold that. You can keep the pad on too. That to me, I'm just getting a nice little stretch. So do that maybe both sides, put the foot up. Not all students are going to have the leg length to be able to do this, so drop their foot bars down and do that. Padding, of course. I'm going to drop down. The reason why I took the pad off is because I really like this is my favorite part. It's rotation, and I really like to feel, maybe I'm sadistic, but I like to feel where the lat is. Really, there we go. Otherwise, with the pad on, I don't really feel, and I could be on the shoulder blade and missing the spot. I want to be just at the base of the shoulder blade, rolling back to center, getting all those little tightnesses, reaching my left lat up, pressing my legs into the frame to stabilize and rotate on, and getting onto that, and then back. If you don't like pain or you're really tight in the teres and lat, you're probably going to want that pad. And then I'm regretting it now. Apparently I did something with my lats the other day. I'll get a little higher on this side. And then I'm going to just let myself stretch again. And if anybody feels any pain at all, make sure they readjust. All right. So I'm going to go from this position. I'm going to walk my leg up, and we're going to go into a little bit higher level. So when I do the extension over, I need to be very careful because now I've got a different load on my body. So I'm going to just do the version where I bend my knees and hips and then back up and then back to extension. I'll do 4 more reps. Go within a range that feels okay. I'm going to show you the version where elbows are bent. And then we're going to go into straight leg. Hips and back up. And then over. So whether you want straight arms out or arms bent, see what feels best. Back down, get a really great traction for the spine. And then over. And one more. And obviously, I do not recommend this with any of my elderly clients. You do not want to have them on that hard of a surface on their spine. If you're going to do some spine extension, I recommend doing it with the foam roller on the carriage and going from that. You can do that same series with a foam roller on the carriage as well. So keeping this as an intro clip, play around with these, make sure you use your padding, make sure you use proper gripping, and then maybe 3 minutes before you give them a rest. Don't program it too long, otherwise they're going to be in pain. And to apply that much pressure on the thoracic spine for long durations can set off some pain signals because you're really pushing against areas that are probably really locked down in the beginning. When I first did it, it took my breath away. So if it takes your breath away, that's normal. Not that I'm saying I want that to happen. I used to do it on the edge of the box too, so you can try reversing it and just doing it on this edge, pat it too. I found I like the bar better. It's all preference. But now it stretches. Now my upper back, my thoracic is unlocked, so it feels really good to do these different variations. Feet on the floor. One thing I didn't show you is you can go from feet on the floor to feet on the carriage and then feet on the box. But I wanted to keep it down, so make sure under 10 or around 10. So make sure you try the different variations. You've got spine extension supported neck, so spine extension single arm supported neck, lateral flexion, rotation, feet down, knees bent, feet down, legs straight, feet on, and the carriage or feet on the box. Thanks for watching.